Hello, students, and this lesson is for those of you who are taking the MAP test this week and are in my class on February 4th or February 5th. This is the same lesson for either day, but on February 4th, we will see period 3, and on February 5th, we will see period 6 and period 7. So everything is the same in terms of our information. The only thing that's different is you have a slightly different do now. So for our February 4th students, I want you to carefully respond to the do now prompt about practicing gratitude. We like to have a thankful Thursday every once in a while. And for everyone, the objective is to learn to translate words to algebra. So our essential question is, what are the words we use to describe? This is all about describing the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division that we use, and how do we use those words to describe problems, and also what is a turnaround phrase. Your assignment is to do your do now in your Teams Q3 folder and class notebook, to watch today's video and work the 3 pages on real numbers. It's actually 2 pages, 1 page is just a reference material for you to review. You don't have to actually do any work on it. I would like you to answer the exit ticket, and this, as always, is the most important thing. Show your completed work to your teacher. And then we have an exit ticket. The turnaround phrase for subtraction is, and you'll explain that in your own words and give an example. So remember, show your work to the teacher. If you have not finished the lesson, that will be your homework assignment. Remember to get full participation credit. Have your camera on. Respond when your name is called at the beginning, middle, or end of the period. Show your work on camera at the end of the period. If you have a problem with that, send your photo to me. And questions you can email me. Remember, a job well done means a job done honestly. Please respect the honor code if you are taking any test online, whether it's math test or the MAP test. Now, for the Thursday people, your focus today for our do now is on gratitude, and we want you to think about 3 ways you can practice gratitude, 3 ways that you can practice being thankful. And please put those there. We'll get back to our exit ticket. February 5th, people, same, everything is the same, except we want you to think about forgiveness. To forgive means to stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, flaw, or mistake. How long should you wait before you offer forgiveness to someone? And answer that there. And please remember to spend time this weekend thinking about how you can be an amazing distance learner and how your education can be enriched. You don't want to be worse off, you want to be better off because of this experience. So these are the pages we're going to work on today. We're going to take a look at this page and we're going to work the next 2 pages. So let's take a look at this page. This is some of the words that we use when we describe an algebraic problem. When we describe, say, an application that we want to solve, or we have a word problem that we want to find the answer to. And these are the words of mathematics. So double and plus mean that you're going to get more of something. But of is often used with division, as is half. Decreased by and minus are often used for subtraction. Sum is used for addition. Times is used for multiplication, but less than is often used for subtraction. We call less than one of our turnaround phrases. We also have separated into, which is division, altogether, which is usually addition. Total is usually addition. Product is the answer when we multiply. Difference is the answer when we subtract. Divided by is when we're putting things into separate groups. Increased by could be addition or multiplication. Quotient is the answer we get when we divide. Per is a word we use when we divide something into groups and each group is the same size. Twice is a word we use when we double something. And subtracted from is another important turnaround phrase, and we'll be talking about those. So the key words that we generally use when we add are some, more than, increased by, total, plus, and all together. When we subtract, the answer we get is called the difference. We can also use the term less than or subtracted from. And these two are turnaround phrases, and we're going to be talking more about those. We can use minus, and we can use decreased by. When we multiply, we can use the word times. The answer we get when we multiply is the product. We might double something, so we would have twice the amount. As I said, we can double something. We can also triple something, get 3 times the amount. We might use the word of or per. You might see those terms in a word problem. And our symbol, now we graduate away from that kind of X as multiplication to this dot. Or if we have a variable and an integer next to each other, that is multiplication between them. And then division, here's the division symbol. And the words we use include divided by, quotient. The quotient is the answer you get when you divide. We might cut something or divide something in half or in thirds, so we'd say third, or even fourths, quarter, or fifths. And we often see the word separate. When we see that word separate, we know we are dividing. Now, phrases like less than and subtracted from are our turnaround phrases. And what that means is that we have to reverse the order of the values that are presented to us. So let's move on to the next part of our lesson. And what we are asked to do is to translate each expression. So we've got words that will be given and we'll translate it into a mathematical expression. We will use, when we see the phrase a number, we will use X. So 5 more than a number is X plus 5. It is not 5X. 5X would be multiplying. The quotient of a number, that's our X, and 2 This is really kind of funny. You see the word and, but we are not adding. It's division. There's a division sign. The quotient of a number and two, we can show division with a fraction bar. X divided by 2. Well, it looks like it's negative 2, so x divided by negative 2. We have a negative 2 there. Now, number 3, twice a number. This is multiplication. So twice is 2 times a number, and we're using the variable x, so that would be 2x. And a number decreased by 7. X is the number. If it's decreased by 7, it is x minus 7. Now, if we say the product of a number and 12, that means we multiply, and the number is x. So the product of a number and 12 is 12x, and we generally put the integer in front of the variable, and then this becomes our coefficient. The 12 in this case is a coefficient. Now, if we say 3 subtracted from a number, that's a turnaround phrase. Okay, so we have x minus 3, okay? Because we're given the 3 and it's subtracted from x, but look, how we write it is x minus 3 because 3 is subtracted from. Okay, remember that turnaround phrase, subtracted from. If someone is in number 7 earning $15 per hour, that's multiplication, so that's 15x, and we do not put the dollar sign once we represent it in algebra. We put the dollar sign in our solution once we work a problem. Now here we have $5 less than the cost of the ticket. We don't know how much the ticket costs, so that cost of the ticket is going to be our x, and this is another turnaround phrase. Because we have the cost of the ticket minus 5. So even though it looks like 5 minus x, it's 5 less than, so the x comes first. The sum of a number and 24, we're adding, so that's x plus 24. 50 markers divided among several students. We hadn't talked about that, but that is a word sometimes you see in division, among. So if it's 50 divided among several students, the several is not an exact number, that's our x. And the 50 is divided among, that means the 50 is our numerator and x is our denominator. Now here we have 2/5 of a number. Of indicates that we are multiplying. 2/5 is a fraction, so it's 2/5 times x, or 2/5 x. Now we're getting some expressions with more than one term. Half a number. Okay, so that half a number is 1/2 x minus 18. Or I'm sorry, 19. I read that 18. Straighten that out. 19. So 1/2 x minus 19. Number 13. 11 less, than the product of a number and -4. So this is a turnaround phrase. So first we have to illustrate or represent the product of a number and 4, and this is not addition. Okay, this is we're multiplying a number and 4 because it's the product. So we've got our negative 4x, it's a negative 4, negative 4x less or minus 11. Number 14, the total of 8 times a number and 5. So we're multiplying x times 8, and then we're adding it to 5. And that's the total is the addition of 8 multiplied by x plus 5. Number 15, the difference of a number squared and 14. So x will be squared, that's an exponent of 2, but it's the difference of a number squared and 14. This is not addition, it's the difference of, so it's subtraction. So that would be x squared minus 14, and then 3/4 of a number. So we have a fraction times our x plus 17. 3/4 x plus 17. Now, let's go in the other direction and see how we do. We're going to write each expression in words. So we're given the algebra and we're going to write the words. So this is not a complete exact science. I'm going to give you solutions for this that I come up with, but there are different ways to say the same thing. So your answers could vary. Just if you have something different, you can just ask me and we'll talk about your interpretation of the expression. So number 17 says n minus 9. And one thing we could say is a number decreased by 9. Number 18, we have p as a numerator and 8 as the denominator. So we could say the quotient, because that's division, the quotient of a number and 8. Number 19 says negative 5x, that's multiplication. That's the product of negative 5 and a number. Number 20 says k plus 10, so we could say a number increased by 10. And remember, your answers, your solutions could vary slightly. Wherever we say a number, we've been using x, but these examples use n, p, x, k, m, a, and n, and all those are fine. It's still a number, a variable that represents a number. So number 21, 1/3 m is 1/3 of a number. Number 22, we have a as a numerator, 2 as a denominator. From that, we have subtracted 30. We could say half of a number minus 30. Just a little note about a over 2 can also be written 1/2 a. So we can say half of a number minus 30. Number 23, I see that negative 7n minus 1. That will be one less than, we'll use a turnaround phrase, one less than the product, because this is multiplication here, the product of -7 and a number. And number 24, this 2y plus 13, that is the sum of twice a number and 13. Oh, you think you're really getting close to doing a lot of algebra. We're doing some good preparation for it. So our exit ticket asks, what is the turnaround phrase for subtraction? And whether you're in the February 4th group or the February 5th group, it's the same exit ticket and the same question. So I'll just answer it right here. The turnaround phrase for subtraction is phrases like we can have less than, or we could have subtracted from. And we're asked to give an example. So let's use the example 7 subtracted from a number, which would be x minus 7. So thank you for your hard work today. I'm always proud of you. Make sure you show your completed paper to me during our meeting, whether it's finished or not. I want to see how much you've got done, see how we're doing. Keep practicing. It takes consistent work every day. And by the end of the year, it adds up to a lot of knowledge. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep practicing. Keep working hard, and you'll be great.